Welcome to something short and sweet on the Parsha. This week, Parshas Yisro. So Yisro comes to join the Jewish people. And the Gemara in Zvachim is wondering what motivated him. After all, Shamu Amim Yirgazun, Chil Ochaz Yoshve Peloshes, the whole world heard about Yitzias Mitzrayim, about the awesome display of HaKadosh Baruch Hu's might for Klal Yisrael, for our people. But it was only Yisro that came. What exactly was the motivational factor for him to join the Jewish people? And the Gemara gives three possibilities. The first opinion is that it was the revelation at Sinai. HaKadosh Baruch Hu met Moshe Rabbeinu on top of the mountain, le'enei, to the eyes of the entire people, the eyes of the entire world. He gave the Torah to the Jewish people. Yisro wanted to be part of that. The second opinion is that it was before revelation at Sinai. The second opinion is that it was the revelation at the sea. Before in Mitzrayim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu had shown his dominance of land, of air, of sea. But incredibly, exponentially, more clear was the power of God at the sea and the chasodim and the kindness that he did for Klal Yisrael, our people. And therefore Yisro said, I want to be part of that. But the third opinion in the Gemara is a bit odd. Rabbi Yehoshua, he says it wasn't the revelation at Sinai. It wasn't the revelation at the sea. It was the war against Amalek. And you have to wonder, the war against Amalek wasn't overtly miraculous. It was fought with weapons. It was fought with soldiers. The war was being lost, and then the war was being won, and the war was being lost. It seems even that people died in the war. What was so special about the war? And even better, Rabbi Yehoshua didn't say the victory. Rabbi Yehoshua didn't say the miracle of the war. Rabbi Yehoshua said the war of Amalek, Milchemes Amalek. It sounds like it's not the outcome. It's not the Yad HaChazak Uzro and the Tuya, the outstretched arm of God during the war. It seems like the war itself. So I believe that Rabbi Yehoshua is saying something very different than the other two opinions in the Gemara. The other two opinions in the Gemara are saying, wow, Yisro saw what God did for the Jewish people, that God was with the Jewish people. When it comes to Rabbi Yehoshua's opinion, something altogether different. Why did Amalek attack our people? They lived nowhere near Eretz Yisrael. They lived nowhere near Mitzrayim. Klal Yisrael was not going to bother them by any stretch of the imagination. Why did they come to fight? And the answer is, for one reason and one reason alone. Our people came out of Mitzrayim. They went to Har Sinai. They became the ambassadors of the good God. Atem Eidainu Hashem. We were to be the witness of God to the world. And Amalek, the incarnation of evil, couldn't stand that. And they had to go to war with us. And this is what Yisro saw. According to Rabbi Yehoshua, Yisro can see the incredible miracles of the splitting of the sea. He could see the revelation at Sinai, and he could say, I love it. but I don't need to be a part of it. He could say, I'm going to be a good goy, and he'd be right. And by being a good goy, he could go to Olam Haba. I'll cheer the Jewish people from the sidelines. But Rabbi Yoshua is saying, when he saw the war of Amalek, the attack of Amalek, he realized that in this world, there is a great conflict. The conflict of good against evil. And when he saw that, he couldn't sit on the sidelines. He had to get into the fray. He had to be part of it. So he came to be part of the Jewish people and to advise the Jewish people and to fight the battles of the Jewish people. I believe that this response, the Yisro response, is part of the response that we are seeing today in our day. The response of so many Jews, thousands of Jews, all walks of life in Eretz Yisrael and outside Eretz Yisrael, that many of us have woken up. We're not the same people. We take our role as Jews much more seriously. There are people that never before put on tefillin, or all of a sudden are putting on tefillin, never kept Shabbos, all of a sudden attempting to keep Shabbos. People who haven't been in the Beis Medrash in years are running to the Beis Medrash. People have realigned with Eretz Yisrael. Because on October 7th, we all saw pure evil. And many of our people said, I can't sit on the sidelines anymore. I need to get in the fray. I need to be part of it. The truth is that the battle against evil is our ultimate task. It's our ultimate goal. The Ramchal, Ramosha Chaim Luzzatto, the great thinker, author, Mesil Shisharim, in another work, Das Tfunos, he poses this question, Umah ha'avoda b'chlal, our service of God, what is the essence of it? And he answers, and this might be a surprise. The Ramchal answers, it's lahavir ha'kol ha'chisoron shenusa b'bria, to remove all that which is lacking in creation. What's lacking? What is found to be lacking? Hu hara hazeh asher motzo yato va'omei lehispata. Evil. The evil that we find in the world and is destined ultimately to be nullified, to be removed. And then he goes on and he says, how do we do that? I mean, that's my job. My job is to remove the evil in the world. Little me, how can I do that? And he explains, we need to start, each of us need to start with ourselves, to clean up our act, to develop ourselves, to develop our character, to develop our relationship with our people and with our God. There's a very beautiful medrash in this regard. Medrash tells a little story of a crossroads, a major crossroads, where a rock was implanted in the middle of the crossroads. And people are coming by and they're banging into the rock and banging into the rock. People are getting hurt. And it was too big to remove. So what were they going to do? And the suggestion, and this is the suggestion of the Ribono Shel Olam, is that everybody needs to come with their little pickaxe and start chipping away the rock. And when each of us goes and chips away at the rock, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, you do that, and I'll ultimately remove it. The job of each and every Jew is to see that evil, to see what has befallen us, and to be inspired, to change ourselves, to come closer, to be loving people, to be better people. And when we do that, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will say, let's remove evil from the entire world. So it should be. We should be zoche, indeed, to see the removal of the barbarity of the evil that we experienced and see the simcha of the coming of Mashiach. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great Shabbos.